Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to be taking your seats, please? We are about to be starting this afternoon's proceedings, so can you please be taking your seats? Thank you very much. Can I ask all that the entrepreneurs go to the foyer? Entrepreneurs, we need you in the foyer. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, can I ask you to please be taking your seats? Thank you. Well, a very good afternoon to you all. My name's Romy Lawson and I'm the Provost of Murdoch University, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to pitchatpalace Australia 3.0, the final. Thank you all for joining us today. Your presence and support means a great deal, and it means a great deal to the entrepreneurs especially. I'd like to acknowledge some of our many special guests here today. His Royal Highness, the Duke of York, the Honourable Kim Beazley, Governor of Western Australia, and Miss Susie Annis. Thank you for having us here today and hosting us. It's much appreciated. Miss Amanda Thirst and members of the official party, VIP guests, Murdoch University Senate members, distinguished guests including colleagues from academia, the public sector and industry, our judges, our corporate partners and supporters, and most of all, our entrepreneurs, because without you, this wouldn't be happening. So a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for all being here, and I'd also like to point out that we've got some virtual guests with us today. You all got the opportunity to be YouTube stars for the afternoon, because we are live streaming all the pitches today on YouTube. And those YouTube viewers will also have the opportunity to vote today. So, as I said, Government House, where we gathered this afternoon, and we're very grateful to be here, is situated on the lands of the Noongar people. And I'd now like to invite Sean Nannup, a custodian of the Whadjuk country, and the Binjarup Midars Performance Group to welcome us to country. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here to do a Welcome to Country for you. And if most people know of me doing a Welcome to Country in the past, it's hard for me to connect with you if I stand behind a lectern. So I hope you don't mind me coming down and connecting, as we did many, many thousands and thousands of years. When a Welcome to Country was in its appropriate way, it was an opportunity for us to introduce those who are coming from different parts of the country or beyond to their mother. Our mothers have many ways of teaching. And anyone here knows that if we start to want to go forward in our life journey, having one of the greatest relationships in our life would be one that we have with our mother. Our father, yes, obviously, we're a bit tough, we're a bit straight back, but certainly the place where we know love should be embedded in our hearts is from our mother. My mother passed away 3 weeks ago. Going about 4 now, and it's a time when my heart broke. But I do know that she left a legacy. And a Welcome to Country is to reinforce the legacy of love and unity. When we talk about one, we talk about all. So can you say that with me? When we talk about one, we talk about all. If you do it more than 72 times, say it, action it, becomes somewhat natural. If you didn't wake up today and say that I matter, I'm important, I love myself, you got a little bit of work to do. Aboriginal culture is to reinforce that love starts within, and the gatekeeper to all the things that we know are equal to each and every one of us is waiting for you. So welcome you to country today is get you into the rhythm of her, because she gave you a gift. That was your heartbeat. It goes ba-boom, ba-boom. The gift that she gave herself was you. You have the ability to give balance. You have the ability to be able to give and give and give. Today there's certain people that are going to come to you with gifts. And they're going to say, can you see my gift? It has value. It has something that we know will make a difference to the world. If you see it, I hope you get excited. If you see it, I hope it takes a place inside your heart, inside your soul, that allows you then to connect with us and make this world a better place. We are following in the footsteps of our great grannies. Don't get it wrong. Every moment we have an opportunity to give. So I'd like you to connect with the person next to you by locking arms or locking arms or putting hands on shoulders, one of the two. Okay. my time is coming somewhat to an end, and if you can stay connected, it's important. As you start to connect now, you can see across the room everyone's smiling. If we took a snapshot, if we want to make the world a better place, we just need to reach out and connect. And all of a sudden, the answers to this wonderful thing in our life that we know can be somewhat of a challenge is to brighten the world up just by a smile. If you can't see me, that's okay. When we speak in spirit, as our grannies did on the Whadjuk country we stand on, they blended in. And if I'm blending in right now, then I'm physically saying something that I actually act upon. And now we want you to take a nice deep breath in. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, out. 1 in. Warawira Buyakanan. Warawira Buyakanan. Bad spirit, go away. We don't need you right now. Murichurin dat yening, krobadan, yen yen yaku. Good spirit, come sit, not in the air, but on our skin, dat yening. And when you feel the goosebumps going over your body, that's all our great grannies coming together. There is no separation in spirit country. The English, the Chinese, the French, the Dutch, they're all here. And they're saying, wow, look at our children still unifying. Look at our children still showing love and compassion to one another. Maybe we did leave something behind that we can be very proud of. We walk in the footsteps of you, our old people. I say our, we. I think you get the picture. Wanju wanju, nija, wajak nyunga buja, wanju wanju, nija, wajak murich yogas, wanju wanju, welcome, welcome. Murich is really good. Yogas are our women. Murich maman is our men. To that Wirrakulunga inside you dancing and celebrating right now. Hopefully you're getting goosebumps. Hope you feel like you're a part of something amazing. Let our grannies all guide us. May we step in their footprint with great passion and know that the day will come when we will dance on the shoulders of many of our great-grandchildren and say, hey, we've been there. Thank goodness we left something that we know will be there forever. Till next time, we say Buddha Wan Jenang, never goodbye. We'll catch up with you later. Thank you very much.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Sean for doing the Welcome to Country. We are very respectful of our elders in the area, and getting someone like him up to do something like that is an amazing start for us to do our traditional dancing. The first dance we're going to do for you is called Spirit Dance. It's called Kanyawanging traditionally. It's about the spirits talking and bringing in the good spirits and keeping out the bad to make sure that everybody's here, not only has a great day here, but a safe journey home. I hope you like my travel ditch. Sorry, DJ's broken. It's got a bit of a crack in it. Roseanne, can you grab the other one, please? Thank you. Send the wife to get the other ditch. All right, keep going. Straight into dripping. Chirping, 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 chirping. One more chirp, one more chirp, one more chirp. One more chirping, 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 yummy, chirping, yum, chirping, yummy, chirping, chirp. One more chirp, one more chirp, one more chirping, chirping, chirp. Go! Mordich, nyunga, mordich, nyunga, mordich, nyunga, mordich, mordich. One more budja, one more budja, one more budja, budja, budja. Go! First of all, apologies about the ditch. Didn't know it had a big crack in it. So the first dance was Spirit. The kids came through to cleanse the area. Jirpin is about showing each dancer as an individual and their body movements. And the last one we're going to do for you is called Nyambi. Nyambi is a 40,000-year-old rock and roll. It's about getting out, have some fun. It's a foot tap and dance. It's about keeping rhythm. And we allow you guys to help us get some enjoyment out of it and join in with us. So what we'll get you to do, if you're a dancer, jump up and dance. If you're not into dancing, you can clap along and keep the rhythm. If you've got no rhythm, just clap with one hand. It all works. Thank you all for inviting us out. We really love coming out and doing our culture. By the way, this is all my kids. The first one that left out, that was TKC Junior. And then we've got Kalyat at the back. Kalyat is actually one of the last rebellious warriors in the Pinjar area, which is where we're from. We've got Walich here, who's the baby boy. Walich means eagle, and that's me and his traditional name, which is hard for us because we're mad Docker supporters. But and then we've got Montana, who comes along and helps us out. She's my middle child, so middle child syndrome. She gets it. Thank you again. Hopefully you have a great day.
Such an important part of any kind of event, so we're very grateful. I mean, the energy that I think we just saw from the Binjarup Midar Performance Group was just amazing. Great to see the Aboriginal rock and roll there. And I think also every time I hear Sean do a welcome to country, the peace and calm that comes over the room, and I'm sure our entrepreneurs who are waiting to do their pitches will really have appreciated that peace and calm in that moment. Before we move on, I would now like to invite the Governor of Western Australia, the Honourable Kim Beazley, to say a few words.
Well, thank you, Romy, and can I start, as we always do here at the House, and pay my respects to the traditional owners of this land, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. And I thank Sean for his welcome to country here today. That was a superb welcome. I don't think the audience know how senior Sean is. He is a very senior man indeed. And we love the dancers, and I thank them too for their welcome to country. I get welcome to country 3 or 4 times a week. And I have to say, I learn something new each time I am welcomed in that way. Could I start with our acknowledgements here, as opposed to those of the traditional owners, and welcome in particular His Royal Highness here, who is the founder of the quite extraordinary pitchatpalace operation, which is a global one, of which we are a cog here in Western Australia. Could I also acknowledge Kate Doust, who is the President of the Legislative Council, and Julie Bishop, who was Foreign Minister, of course, for many years and many other portfolios, recently entered private life in a very public way. It's always good to have you here too. And Yaz Mubarakai, who is a Member of Parliament, who's sitting here in the front row. Welcome. Mayor of Coburn, welcome. And Commodore Brett Dowsing, he's the head of the armed services here in Western Australia. And then I start to run into real trouble as I look along the very distinguished array of guests that we have here. And of course, when you add to those guests all the people who are the folk pitching and the folk who are interested in those who are pitching, we come to a very distinguished crew indeed. Could I acknowledge Murdoch University, who are the sponsors of this event? This final element of the event is taking place here, but they have sponsored it throughout the course of the week here in Western Australia. This is an enormously beneficial and impressive organisation. This is an idea in the contemporary world whose time has come. You all know it well. It's a form of great ideas speed dating, and it produces real possibilities for people who make a real difference not only in their own lives, but in the products and the services that they're pitching for. They move away from success here, and sometimes even from not particularly successful forays here, into being much more effective entrepreneurs with much more effective businesses. So it's a pleasure to have you all here. Welcome to my home.
Thank you very much, Governor. Your words are always appreciated. This is the finale of pitchatpalace Australia 3.0, so we thought we'd share with you the run-up to this finale. So we've got a short video that we're going to introduce now, which is Australia, the journey so far. I think as you can see from the video, Pitch at Palace is more than just what you'll see on the stage. There's so much more around it. It's such a powerful event and it really does make a difference, and that's why Murdoch University is so pleased to be involved in Pitch at Palace Australia. For those of you who are not that familiar with Pitch, it started by the Duke of York in 2014 to support early stage businesses. The aim is to connect entrepreneurs to local and international networks to help amplify their businesses. The entrepreneurs receive introductions to mentors, venture capitalists and industries all over the globe. In 2017, Pitch made its way to Australia with on-tour events in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. In 2019, those events extended out to Sydney, the Gold Coast, Melbourne, Adelaide and Perth, as you've just seen. But enough from me, let's hear from the founder and the driver of Pitch at Palace, His Royal Highness, the Duke of York.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed and welcome to the final of Pitch at Palace Australia 3.0. At some stage I know we're going to have to change the numbering system because it's just getting very confusing now all around the world with different numbers. I think you've heard quite a lot about what Pitch does and what it means. But what you haven't heard is the difficult bit. And the difficult bit is what you're going to be doing here this afternoon. The audience this afternoon are the people who are important. The entrepreneurs, of course, are important. They've got a job to do. But I don't think you, as the audience, truly understand how important you are to the success, not only of today's event, but also the success of these businesses in the future. And it's very simple. You will hear from 42 different businesses either a 30-second pitch or a 3-minute pitch. We can't do 3-minute pitches for everybody because you'll be here all afternoon and we want to keep the pace going. Your job is to think how, when you hear those pitches, you can make a difference to those businesses. So you may suddenly go, oh, hang on a minute, I know exactly who they need to be connected to, or who I can make a phone call to say, hey, this company has got a great idea, you might like to learn about it, get in touch with them. Because you don't know, and I don't know, and the entrepreneur doesn't know who you know. And you just might be the one person who can make the most significant difference to that business's growth. And that is what we want you to do. Now, it's quite a pacey afternoon, and if you've got what's called a lookbook in front of you, hope you've got a pen because you're going to have to take notes. Just remember, we're looking, as it were, for 5 things that are important, all right? We're looking for 6 things, actually, but I'll come to the 6th in a moment. And the 5 things are, we want you to either consider becoming a mentor to these businesses yourself, or if you know somebody who might well consider becoming a mentor to these businesses. We need people who are going to advise these businesses, because if a business fails because the idea doesn't work, or that idea is disrupted by another business in another part of the world, that's all part of life's rich tapestry. But if a business and a startup fails because of business process engineering going wrong, that's less forgivable. And so what we've got to do is to get round and behind these businesses to give them that business processing advice, and it has to be tailored to that individual business, because they have different governance structures and there is no particular, or there's no one rule for anybody. We are then looking for our businesses to be given access to supply chains and to distribution systems. You know people who have distribution systems or supply chains into which these businesses might or might not fit. If they can, the more that they can be helped into those systems means that they're going to start to earn revenue. And by earning revenue, whether they're profitable or not, starts to get them on the road to growth. And that's what we want to do. We want to grow these businesses. The one thing that is absolutely vital, and I've already touched on it, is the connections that you can make for these businesses. So make a note of these connections. Either contact the entrepreneur through the app, or do it directly afterwards in the networking session at the end. The last thing, and the sixth thing, is investment. We accept that investment is something that everybody is going to need in one form or another. And what we would like to be in a position to be able to do is to start, or to help start, that conversation with an investor, because I do not want anybody making instantaneous decisions on whether to invest or not. It's a conversation. Many of these entrepreneurs are, as it were, doing it for the first time, and so therefore it's about investing in the person and his or her determination to succeed. So you've got to have that conversation. You've got to get to know them. So those are the things that I am looking for. There is one other thing that I need to remind our entrepreneurs of, and that is that you must have an ask of the audience. Quite apart from the fact that they might be sitting here listening and going, oh, I know exactly who they should be put in touch with. Remember that they don't know a great deal about your business, and you need to ask them for something that is going to make a difference to your business. Now, I know from boot camp that one of the businesses said, could he have 5 asks? And I said, no. You're only allowed 1 ask. All right? Otherwise it gets too complicated. But I've told him how to solve his problem about 5 asks, which is to say that he has 5 asks, but he's only going to ask 1 now, and if you want to know the other 4, see him afterwards. That's the way to do it. Enjoy the afternoon. It's quite pacey. There's a lot that will happen, and I hope you enjoy it. But make the most of it, and please make those connections. Lastly, I want to pay a huge debt of thanks to everybody who has been working to put this together over the last few months. Because without the team, without Murdoch University, without Jane, without Alex and others, this couldn't happen. And I have to say that Australia has what I can only describe as some laurels on which it needs to continue to grow out of. In the sense that you've had one winner in 2007, Nev House, that went on to be considered in our global event in December the best possible idea. So that's one for Australia. We then had a Commonwealth event last year for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting where we brought quite a lot of the Commonwealth people together, and a company called Control Bionics, again from Australia, came out on top. And then last year we had a business called OncoRes, I'll get it right in a moment, anyway, who not only topped out here, but also again at the showcase event was one of the top businesses, and I keep looking over because she's sitting over there, and she's here today. And just in case you understand about how families work, I understand that part of the rest of her family are pitching in this event as well. So if she can do it, then her husband can do it as well. Good luck. But Australia has a very, very good record of great innovation. And I'll tell you what, we see this because we put you against other countries. And if you're permeating through that, there is some great innovation, great ideas coming out of Australia that have relevance not just to Australia. They have relevance to everybody around the world. And Western Australia is well connected, and I think we're doing extremely well. But thank you very much indeed, A, for hosting us. Governor, thank you very much indeed. But also for having such great ideas. And I'll tell you that you're going to have a great fun trying to vote for these at the end of this afternoon. But I'm now going to hand over and let you get on with the process. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Royal Highness. He isn't leaving. He will be watching from the back and getting the opportunity to talk to some of the entrepreneurs after their pitches, so don't worry. This afternoon represents the final stage of Pitch at Palace 3.0. It's the culmination of a great deal of hard work for the participants. I'm delighted that we're here to welcome successful entrepreneurs from Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, and of course, Western Australia. Earlier this week, Pitch at Palace Bootcamp was held at Murdoch University. The teams had a morning to perfect their pitches along with invaluable help from their elevators, and then in the afternoon they took to the stage and they delivered their pitch. Our judging panel selected 3 teams from the bootcamp who will all get a 3-minute pitch today, and the remainder have to sell their message in just 30 seconds to you. Quite a challenge, I'm sure you all agree. If today's pitches go over the allocated time, we have a wonderful experience to my right, where Petty Officer Nigel Barrett and leading seaman musician Nathan Hicks will play this. I'm sure you all agree, absolutely fabulous. So the successful team from today's event will be granted the amazing opportunity to present at Pitch at Palace Global. The prestigious event will be held at St James's Palace in London later in the year. The successful team will be the team who receives the greatest number of votes. And today it's not about votes from a group of judges, it's votes from yourself and our YouTube followers. So the decision is in your hands. And we hope that you make a good decision today. Once you've listened to each of the pitches, we will start a timer for the voting, and you will only have 3 minutes to vote. So you are going to be hearing 42 pitches today. Can I suggest you write down the names of the ones that you think are potentially your higher up ones, so you're not going through booklets during those 3 minutes and trying to work out which one was which. Make a note of which ones have been impressing you as you go along. Most of you, I hope, have downloaded the app, and you know, as you say, there's an app for that, and there is today. That's how you're going to vote. If you haven't downloaded the app, or it doesn't seem to be working yet, this is the way that you get to vote. So whilst we're playing the video in a couple of moments' time, if your app doesn't seem to be functioning or you've not downloaded it, just raise your hand and someone with a blue lanyard will come and help you and make sure that you're all set up for the voting. Now, the app does a lot more than voting. It's also your way to connect. It's the way for you to message entrepreneurs, other people in the audience, and alumni of the Pitch at Palace events and programme. So it is really important that everybody gets their app downloaded and operating. So what you will find is there's a barcode on the front of your screen, and that should have been zapped as you came through the door. If you didn't get zapped on coming in to Pitch at Palace, as I say, please raise your hand and we can assist you. And if we could do that whilst the video plays. Thank you. Well done. I didn't see many hands going up, so you obviously all did the right things as you came in. Well done. If, however, when it comes to the voting, you're having any problems, do just raise your hands and someone will come and help you. So it's time to move on to the important part of the afternoon, the pitches. Today we'll hear pitches from a diverse range of categories, which will include biotech and medical technology, consumer technology and the Internet of Things, data management and analytics, education technology, health and well-being technology, industrial technology, media communications and entertainment technology, and robotics, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality. Quite a group of categories there, I'm sure you'll agree. Our first category is health, fitness, and medical technology. And our first team to deliver will get a 3-minute pitch, and that team is Noisy Guts.
In 2014, Nobel laureate Barry Marshall, famous for infecting himself with Helicobacter, came across some acoustic sensing technology that, when placed in the foundations of a building, detects the teeny tiny sounds of munching termites. The idea percolated. What if we could apply acoustic sensing technology to the human guts? My name is Dr. Josephine Muir, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Noisy Guts. We are the world's first to decode the gut's secret language. We now know what your rumbling, grumbling gut is trying to tell you. Our innovation is an acoustic belt worn today by Miss Flora. It listens, records, and analyses gut noises. We use artificial intelligence to non-invasively diagnose and monitor common gut conditions. Our first application targets irritable bowel syndrome, a chronic and debilitating gut disorder affecting 11% of the world's population and 1 in 5 Australians. Now, why should we listen to the gut? Our why is a young girl, just 7 years of age. When she came to our clinic, doctor after doctor had dismissed her gut health issues as nothing more than a case of Sundayitis. We suspected irritable bowel syndrome, but are we really going to subject a 7-year-old child to an invasive and uncomfortable colonoscopy? Surely there's a better way of diagnosing, so we invented it. A 3-hour gut recording gives us all the data we need to diagnose IBS with 91% accuracy. Our acoustic belt also allows users to objectively monitor and track their gut health symptoms by wearing our Fitbit for the gut at home for just 20 minutes a day. What if a blue sky idea about termites from one of WA's living treasures transforms the lives of up to 1 billion people? Now, Miss Flora and I need your help. The gatekeepers between us and our customers are pharmacy chains and general practitioners. Can you please introduce us to the top 3 pharma chains in the UK? Wells, Boots and Lloyd's Pharmacy. The next time your tummy grumbles, please vote 1, Noisy Guts. Thank you.
Thanks, Josephine. I think a great start to the afternoon. I think the question we would all like to ask is who dresses Miss Flora and has she used the vault yet? One of our pitches coming up later. But the question I'll ask you directly is, so you talked about this of making a difference to the patient and transforming lives. Can you give us a couple of examples of how this will really change from the patient's perspective?
So at the moment, diagnosing IBS is a process of exclusion that takes 4 years to achieve that elusive diagnosis, $1,500 in out-pocket expenses, and a really invasive, uncomfortable and quite risky, entirely unnecessary colonoscopy. What if we were able to diagnose IBS with such accuracy when you're sitting in a wait room for just 2 hours and 40 minutes and it's over? From that, you can immediately get onto a treatment pathway.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you, Noisy Guts. So we're now moving to a series of 4 times 30-second pitches. They are going to be one after another, so if you can contain yourselves, can I ask that you keep your applause to the end of the full series of 4? The pitches that we will now hear are Augmented Bionics, EcoBlends Australia, GoAct and Kinship Systems.
Hello. Please take a moment to appreciate your ability to hear, because there are 70 million people around the world with sensory neural hearing loss and no financially accessible solution. We at Augmented Bionics have a world-first, internationally patented technology that will allow these people to hear again. Our magnetic hearing prosthesis is the solution of the future. However, I'm just a scientist, and I need your help to get the right funds and resources and expertise to take this technology to the people who need it most. Thank you.
Toilet paper that costs cents can save the life of billions. Yesterday, with Professor Barry Marshall's team, we explored higher accuracy, natural toilet paper that changed color when it sensed bad bacteria. In-home, non-invasive, private, color-changing toilet paper is the future of healthcare.
I'm dedicating my pitch to someone who's not here. He committed suicide in May of this year. There'd been some grumbles with his GP, but nobody had picked up the problem. How good would it be if GPs had an objective blood and urine test that could predict a serious mental illness with 96% of precision and suicide risk. We have that technology and we've patented it. Thank you.
Imagine losing the life of a loved one because their health data wasn't shared from one practitioner to another. Data silos cost Australians 27,000 lives a year and $60 billion. Kinship Systems empowers you with that data, delivering health insights and connections to care that you control and securely share. Alongside investment, we'd value introductions to Dr. Zoran Bolovic of eHealth New South Wales and Greg Hunt, Federal Minister for Health. Thank you.
Well, thank you to our first set of 30-second pitches. Our next entrepreneur will have a 3-minute pitch, and that is Paul Anderson from OrthoCell.
Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Anderson. I'm the CEO of OrthoCell, and I'm talking to you today about a revolution in nerve repair. If you suffer a crushed or severed nerve injury, life for you and your loved ones can come to a devastating halt. The impact on patients is significant, from severe pain to impaired use of a limb to complete paralysis. Patients lose the ability to independently eat, to shower, and to even take themselves to the toilet. Effects on self-esteem and mental health are profound. Traditional surgical repair methods are difficult and primitive. We plunge a needle and thread into the nerve to try and pull these nerves together again. The problem is, recovery is slow. It does not provide a consistent return of muscle power or limb function. Millions of people suffer these injuries every year, placing a huge burden on individuals and on society. So OrthoCell has developed CellGrow, a biological medical device with amazing qualities that enables us to repair the nerves for the first time without tension and without use of the needle and thread, producing better results in half the time. CellGrow provides a railway track for nerves to reconnect and grow smoothly in the right direction. Patients in our clinical trial who had a paralysed limb had an 83% improvement in muscle power, meaning CellGrow is helping non-functional limbs become functional again. One of our patients suffered an impact injury from a car accident, paralysing his right arm. He couldn't pick up his kids, he couldn't swim, and it affected his ability to work, devastating the young father and the family. Following surgery with CellGrow, he's now living a normal life. And last year, swam 20 kilometres to Rottnest. And he's now able to pick his children up and he's back at work. These breakthrough results have paved the way for the treatment of more severe quadriplegic cases like Adrian, who couldn't even use his wheelchair before he had surgery with CellGrow. To see the smile on his face is an amazing piece, and we look forward to announcing results of our quadriplegic patients shortly. We have the technical and the commercial experience to progress to market, and to assist us in this process, we seek an introduction to the CEO of Smith & Nephew to assist us in revolutionising nerve repair for millions of people worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Great stuff. A question for you. I know this came up in a conversation I had with you last night. You were talking about how you look at growing into the future, and you were talking to me about how you were going to try and base things around local and national growth. Could you tell us a bit more about that plan?
Yeah, so the development of this technology has really come through a set of really brave surgeons. It's come through a group of challenged and brave patients. and it's come through some fantastic locally developed technology. And we see Australia as an ideal incubator to take these fantastic, amazing innovations to the world, and Australia should be very proud of the technology we have here and the capability for us to drive it internationally. Thank you.
Thank you, Ortho Cell. We're now moving to a series of 3 times 30-second pitches. Again, if you could hold your applause until the end of the pitches, and those pitches will be 1 volt, QuipMo and Therapy Trike. Thank you.
First, do no harm. 1 Volt is a dedicated clinical governance and accreditation management platform for hospitals, aged care and disability. It's all about saving lives, reducing incidents and getting clinicians back to the bedside. By streamlining and automating, 1 Volt saves 70% of current costs, 40% of clinician time, and keeps organisations click of a button ready for mandatory accreditation. Please help us to help you have safer care by connecting us to the Minister for Healthcare in Australia and the Minister for Aged Care. Thank you.
Everyone loves to travel, but no one loves to travel with gear. We've got the solution. QuipMo is the surf, bike and snow peer-to-peer gear rental marketplace for travellers and locals alike. Find gear where you want it, when you want it, and support local individuals and local hire businesses as you do. QuipMo allows you to enjoy adventure more often, and QuipMo allows you for equipment for the moment. Now, we are seeking an introduction to Deirdre Martischetz, founder and CEO of Red Bull. They are a world leader in action sports. Thank you.
16 years ago, my daughter was born, and we still don't have an answer to what's wrong with her. We have developed a trike suitable for her and for many others with disabilities of all different types. To do this, we are looking to speak with Prince Harry and discuss this, whether it could be used with disabled veterans and other people with disabilities. Thank you.
Well done, those 3 teams. The final pitch in the category of health, fitness and medical technology is Soldier Lie, who has another 3-minute pitch. Thank you.
In January of 1990, I became a soldier. Job I always wanted to do. My dad was a Vietnam vet, and then spent the 90s in uniform as a combat engineer and peacekeeper. What we're learning these days, that tough, demanding job leaves a legacy with a lot of us mentally, morally and physically. And so there's a lot of damage done from service that we're just starting to work with. For me, it's PTSD, so I hate this right now, but I have to be here. And for other people who have a tougher time, we have this really high suffering and suicide rate in our community. So in the Western world, we lose a veteran every hour to suicide, 10,000 last year. And what's even more staggering, on top of that number, for every one of those deaths, another 10 to 15 men and women have planned to or tried to kill themselves. And I'm actually one of them. So 3 years ago, after my marriage imploded, I ended up on top of a 7-story building trying to work out if the drop was enough to kill me. That was the engineer in me. I was doing the math. But I was interrupted by an SMS from a friend literally asking, "Are you okay?" So I've spent the last 20 years in the digital sector building digital products. So I cottoned on to the idea of using smartwatches and smartphones to detect stress in people and then actually feed back to them content to help them or actually people they should connect with. It works. We built this. This is one version of our app. We have 100 people at Zurich testing it right now, and the feedback has been amazing. And we don't just want to save soldiers, we want to save the world. Stress is this new health epidemic that underpins 6 of the leading causes of death, 75% of doctors' visits, and across organisations, $500 billion a year in lost productivity and absenteeism. For us as a business, I guess we've got a long way to go. We have many use cases. For me, what's really important in the last few weeks is my mother had a medical alert alarm, fell and died on her floor over the course of a few hours just a few weeks ago. She wouldn't wear the alarm because she didn't want to be seen as a patient or a victim, but she always wore a watch. And my sister lived 15 minutes away. So we start to see all these brilliant use cases of how we could use our tech to change the world. So I guess for me, my ask is really, really simple. I'd like to thank His Royal Highness for actually connecting us with some people in the UK already. So what I want to do is connect with business leaders who have staff that may be stressed. In Australia, we take 3.2 days each year as stress leave, and mental health claims around stress are actually the fastest growing category of claims in Australia at the moment. So for the business leaders out there who think that they want to do more for the wellness of their teams, we'd love to connect with you, and anyone else in the audience who can help me and my team stop bearing so many mates. Thank you. I really wanted the Navy to play me a song.
You got it on Wednesday.
I know.
Can't be too greedy. Well, thank you very much for that. So I suppose the question I would like to ask you, that body hacking has become a growing trend, really, where this kind of health data is being monitored through various ways. How are you going to make Soldier Life stand out?
We've got 4 key components. Everyone, I know a chunk of this room is probably using Calm or Headspace, those kind of apps. We already know about mindfulness now. A lot of the people in this room are using smartwatches, and a lot of these people are actually looking after specific things you can do for your wellness. We're just stitching all that together and then using machine learning and algorithms to actually help people have personalised healthcare at scale, which nobody's done yet. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks very much.
We're going to move on to the second category, which is fintech and blockchain. And the following entrepreneurs will have 30 seconds to pitch. Again, applause at the end. So if you could welcome Agri-tech, Biotech Vision, and The Difference.
This $50 Agri-tech phone will enable a smallholder farmer to lift herself out of poverty. We've spent 3 hard years in the field learning how to do this right. World Food Programme, a $50 billion retail chain, 2 of the largest commodity buyers in the world, pay us to roll out Agri-tech because it is the best way to help them connect with last mile users, address UN Sustainable Development Goals, and improve the lives of millions of people.
There are only 4 companies in the entire world that have a perfect track record in delivering secure facial recognition systems, that have a broad and powerful application from counter-terrorism all the way through to tackling identity crime. We are one of those, and the only Australian one. As the preeminent provider in Australia, we want to continue our good momentum whilst taking our business overseas to selected markets. So if you're interested, please come and have a chat to me. I'm sure you won't need any recognition systems to find me. Thank you.
Climate change, poverty, inequality, waste, preventable disease. We all have an innate desire to help, but it's not easy. We are the difference. Follow us on our social media and download our microdonations app later this year to change the way that Australia gives. With billions of card transactions a year, every purchase you make, you actually change the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, entrepreneurs. So our next category is agriculture, energy and renewable technology. And our first entrepreneur is Capricorn Power, who will have 3 minutes.
Your Royal Highness, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, fellow entrepreneurs. Coal power has enabled us to launch humanity into the 21st century. It's provided us with a way of life that's fantastic. But coal power has enormous consequences, enormous costs. Climate change from the carbon emissions, particulate emissions that are killing millions across the world, and enormous uses of water. We need a renewable future. What if renewables were the lowest cost form of energy? But they are already. Solar and wind are already the lowest cost forms of new generation. But the sun doesn't always shine, except perhaps in Western Australia, and the wind doesn't always blow. We need an additional, low-cost, continuous form of renewable generation. Additionally, there's heaps of waste heat around and heaps of free heat, like this solar thermal heat on that side, like this waste heat from industry, from flues, from exhausts, like the heat that can be generated from burning biogas and biomass. What we need is an engine to turn that waste and free heat into renewable electricity. I'm Rowan Doyle from Capricorn Power, and we have that heat engine. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Noel Barton, ex-CSIRO, CSIRO Medal, Order of Australia, mathematical genius. Noel set about solving part of the climate change crisis problem a few years ago by designing that heat engine, and he did. He's developed an innovative, unique flow sheet for heat to electricity using air as the working fluid. Noel then set out and formed Capricorn Power, the Capricorn Power team, and we built the engine last year, right in Geelong. We built the first prototype. It's 10 kilowatts, enough to power 10 homes when run continuously. We're now working on the first commercial engine, 100 kilowatts, enough to power 100 homes. We've got our first customer lined up, Furnace Engineering near Monash in Melbourne. And then we're working on our growth trajectory from there to megawatt scale. We'll be able to power thousands of homes and thousands of businesses. The scope is global, and we fit in, we take the intermittent renewable sources and add a continuous and on-demand renewable source. We have a fabulous team. You can see our heat engine being demonstrated in the factory up here. Heat goes in at the left, electricity comes out at the right. It's a mechanical engineer's dream, and it's the most efficient one of these in the world. My ask today is for introductions to Sanjeev Gupta and to Bill Gates. Not asking anything small. Capricorn Power, brilliant simplicity and the power to change the world. Thank you.
Rowan, you've got a question to answer yet. Come back. That's okay. Well done, Rowan. So I suppose my question is, we've just seen the super engine that can do this. Do you think into the future that it might be scalable, that it can be used in the domestic kind of world so that we can capture that waste heat that's, you know, in houses, cars, etc.?
Short answer is no, not with our engine. There will need to be other technology. Our engine is more at the commercial and industrial scale and able to scale up from the megawatt scale and excitingly able to scale down in size while still providing megawatts of power. But that's a few years off.
But obviously that power can go to the domestic.
Absolutely,
support,
that will
so
go
there
to the
is
domestic.
That connection. Lovely, well done, Capricorn
Sorry,
Power.
I can run out now. Thank you.
So we're now going to have a series of 30-second pitches from Agri-Global, Farmwall, Jalevo, Hira and Whale Labs. Thank you.
On average, your food travels 2,500 kilometres to get to your plate. Yet there are millions of smallholder farmers living in poverty and they have a market just down the road. I'm Lisa from Agri-Global and we are connecting small farmers to big markets. And we've shown that this connection increases farmer income by 6 times and it significantly reduces buyer costs. My ask today is to be connected to the CEO of Accor Hotels. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Geert Hendricks and I'm the founder of Farmwall. A Farmwall is a natural vertical farm operated by fish, urban farmers and technology. A Farmwall greens up the workspace and delivers well-being through nature and nurture. A Farmwall grows microgreens and healthy snacks for the office space. We already have 10 customers and we're looking for introductions to people in sustainability who care about the well-being of their staff and the planet. Thank you.
1.4 billion kilograms is the amount of ugly fruit and vegetables thrown away every year in Australia before they even reach the supermarket. Jalevo takes this ugly produce and turns it into a dairy-free, avocado-based ice cream. Jalevo is allergen-free and healthier than traditional ice cream, but has the same creamy texture that makes ice cream so good. Our ask is to meet with Michael Corrin, CEO of Freshie, and Sarah Nolet, General Partner of Tenacious Ventures. Thank you.
Our reefs are dying, but we can restore them together. Hiri is the first coral planting ecotourism company in the world. We make money and we make the world a better place. We've already done both in 3 countries, and we've worked with many communities. So, if this is of any interest to you, help me out, come and have a chat, or join a tour, which is going to be an experience that is going to be a lifetime of impact and fulfillment. Thank you.
There's a worldwide bee crisis which has significant agricultural implications, but there aren't enough new beekeepers joining the profession because for them it's financially unviable. We created a new device that collects venom from bees without killing them, which gives them an additional revenue stream and helps beekeeping become more profitable again. Our ask is that we get an introduction to the Duke's beekeeper at his residence in Windsor. Additionally, if you or anyone else you know keeps bees, we'd love to have a talk to you. Thanks.
Congratulations. We're now moving on to our next category, which is cybersecurity, data management and analytics. And our first entrepreneur in this category is Cinch, who will get a 3-minute pitch.
There are 30 million businesses across Australia, the United States and the UK with fewer than 50 staff, and they have a huge problem. Because according to Chubb Insurance, 60% of small businesses have had a cyber incident such as ransomware or a data breach in the last 12 months. Cybercrime is expected to top $6 trillion globally by 2021. We at Cinch have spoken to countless small business owners who have fallen victim, and each and every one of them have spoken about the experience as the worst day of their lives. But why does this keep happening? This keeps happening because small business owners, your lawyers, your doctors, your accountants, your financial planners, they have no time. They have small budgets and they have little to no in-house expertise. So they're virtually left on their own. My name is Susie Jones. I'm co-founder and CEO of Cinch Security. And at Cinch, we have combined my commercial expertise from roles such as Head of Cybersecurity Business Services at Australia Post with my co-founder's technical and cybersecurity expertise to build the world's first online cyber fitness platform that makes security easy for a small business owner. Using our platform, we do the heavy lifting for them. So within 10 minutes of signing up, they already have a curated, bespoke and tailored cyber fitness program that they can start following 5 minutes at a time in and amongst their day. They can do it alone or they can do it in conjunction with their outsourced IT provider. We bundle in all of the products and services they need, such as cyber insurance or password managers, document templates, training, staff awareness training, all of the things that are needed in the one place. And we help them show and demonstrate to their insurers, their regulators, their customers that they're doing the right thing because they can generate compliance reports at just a click of the button. Over the last 5 months, we have onboarded, through direct acquisition, 70 businesses to our platform. And we've received international recognition as one of 7 finalists in New York City's Cybersecurity Moonshot Challenge, beating out 162 companies globally. My ask today is to be introduced to Amanda Murphy, who is the UK Head of Commercial Banking at HSBC, and to her equivalents here in Australia, because I would like to be able to talk to her about how bringing cyber fitness to her customers is not only going to help those small business customers as well as their in turn customers, but also help their bottom line. Thank you.
Well done, Susie. Can you tell us a bit more about what the user feedback has been for your product to date?
Yes, I can. The user feedback has been really remarkable. We ask our paid trial members at the end of the paid trial, how would you feel tomorrow if you no longer had access to Cinch? 80% of them say very disappointed. So that's very early stages of product market fit, but we're super proud.
Great, thank you, well done.
Thank you.
We have another 3-minute pitch, and that will be exceptional.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to start with a story about my sister Sarah, who has amazing strengths and is also autistic. 3 years ago, Sarah was working as a cleaner in a school. And one shift, they said to her, "Sarah, we'd like you to thoroughly clean the tables because we've done a messy craft activity." And they came in the next day, and those tables, you could see your face shining in them. But the bin was overflowing with yesterday's rubbish. The teacher's desk was a mess. Sarah hadn't done the other things that were part of her responsibility. And I know Sarah. I know she follows instructions literally. But Sarah's contract was not renewed. This school didn't take the time to understand her strengths. And that was the 7th time something like that had happened to Sarah. And in that moment, I decided, enough is enough. I'm going to lead change and start a business that shows you can employ people with disabilities for their strengths while supporting their challenges. And the idea for Exceptional was born. We are a technology platform that connects people with autism to jobs in IT and data. We've had an amazing year. 7 million Australians saw us on ABC's Employable Me. We were privileged to have a visit from His Royal Highness and from his daughter, Princess Beatrice, to our office. And Google has backed us with $1 million. But for me, the bigger impact is on the people we've placed into work, like Anthony on the screen behind me. When he came to us looking for a job, he was really low in confidence. But we put him through our technology assessment, and he blew us away. I'm excited to say he now has a job with emphasis working with Westpac. But Anthony and Sarah are by no means alone. There are 125 million people globally with autism, facing a massive 80% unemployment rate, according to the UN. On the other hand, our tech partners tell us they can't fill jobs fast enough. We're coming in between and matching the two together with a proven process that works. We're here with 5 asks, but just one for you today. We'd like to ask, could someone in this room connect us with Waleed Ali, who recently shared his son is on the autism spectrum? And my son is too, similar age. And in 10 years' time, they'll both enter the workforce. And by that time, we want Exceptional to be known as ordinary because of the massive change we've made for people with disabilities being accepted in the workplace. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike. You talked a lot about what this meant for the person who's looking for employment, but I think there's the other part to it as well for the employers. So can you talk a bit more about what the impact is for employers who take these great workers on?
Sure, yeah. Well, one of our tech partners, one of the biggest 3 firms in Australian technology, we've placed 3 candidates with them. And the CEO recently brought me in and said, we could be taking 10 people from you a month. These are exceptional candidates you're putting in front of us. Get going faster was his message. And similarly, the head of engineering at Google in Australia, who oversees 1,000 engineers, he said to me, he thanked me actually for opening up a whole new talent pool to them. So yeah, this is working for the candidates. That's my passion, but it's working for the businesses too.
Great. Thank you, Exceptional. We have one more pitch in this category, and it is Hack Hunter will get a 30-second pitch.
Good afternoon, I'm Tracy Thompson, CEO of Hack Hunter. Malicious Wi-Fi can be set up anywhere to hijack users and steal credentials. Hack Hunter is a continuously monitoring IoT sensor that detects malicious Wi-Fi and alerts security management systems in real time. The portable sensor then precisely locates the malicious Wi-Fi hidden in the ceiling or in a bag so it can be removed. My ask today is for an introduction to the Cybersecurity Manager at Barclays Bank and Lloyds Bank. Thank you.
Perfect timing, Tracy. Well done. We're moving on to our next category, which is Consumer and Industrial Internet of Things. And we'll have a series of 30-second pitches from SensorWeb and Wheel Alert Technologies. Thank you.
This technology saves lives. Radiation is invisible and can cause cancer. SensorWeb makes the invisible visible using intelligent dashboards and displayable monitors. Our ask is that we get warm introductions to nuclear facility managers and decision makers at British Airways and London Airport Security. Also to Senator Matthew Canavan and MP Kate Richards for their oversight of the National Radiation Waste Management Facility. If you're a medical, university or mining organisation, please come and talk to me because we can reduce your compliance requirements and save lives.
Can result in catastrophic outcomes. Wheel-related issues such as bearings, brakes and tyres are a leading cause of truck crashes. Wheel-Alert Technologies is the only company in the world that has developed a sensor that can communicate live out of a deep dish truck wheel. This allows immediate notification of the driver and headquarters of any issues, preventing accidents and fatalities. Our ask today is an introduction to Toll's CEO, Michael Byrne. Vote for Wheel-Alert. Thank you.
We're moving on to robotics, artificial intelligence and virtual reality. And our first entrepreneur will have a 3-minute pitch, and that is Prooftech.
I try as quickly as I can to cram my sometimes delightful crying children into the rental car vehicle. Perfectly timed, the car rental operator provides me with a piece of paper with an image of the vehicle highlighting all of the existing damage. I know at the back of my mind of all the stories of car renters being falsely accused of causing damage to rental vehicles, but that'll never happen to me. This is an actual story, and I was left with an extremely large bill at the end of my rental with absolutely no evidence to defend myself. Prooftech has developed a sophisticated and proprietary AI software that automatically and instantaneously compares a set of videos of a vehicle. Our software works as follows. Upon renting the vehicle, a video is taken of the vehicle, either via fixed camera gantries for high volume locations such as airports, as well as via a mobile phone solution for lower volume locations. Importantly, a notification is sent to all users, letting them know that the imagery has been taken, as well as providing them access to that imagery should they wish to have it. Upon return, imagery is taken of the vehicle again. Our software automatically and instantaneously compares the two sets of videos and highlights any damage that was caused during the rental period. If there is no damage highlighted during the rental period, there is no further interaction between the two parties. However, if there is damage identified, the car renter and the car renter operator can have that discussion at that point in time, which is absolutely critical and valuable to both parties. Undetected damage is a massive problem for the car rental industry's all parties. This is a problem we can solve. For car rental operators, it is a major driver of their Net Promoter Score, as well as a significant financial burden, costing the car rental operators over $1 billion globally last year on rectifying undetected damage where liability was unknown. For the car renters, all they want is a fair and transparent deal. The car rental industry is only the very first industry application for Prooftech. We have been approached by and we are in active discussions with large infrastructure asset managers, global insurers, as well as global fleet managers, to name a few. We have secured a very large trial at Sydney Airport with a major global car rental operator, which is due to commence at the end of this month. Australia is only the test market, and we'll look forward to redirect the business towards larger markets in the UK and USA, which account for greater than 70% of the total global market. This is where we need your help. While we do have strong connections across the Avis budget group globally, we are seeking introductions to senior car rental executives, particularly in the global markets, to support our growth ambitions. I thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me, and I look forward to providing you with a fair and transparent rental. Thank you.
Danny, thank you very much. Obviously, a great piece of technology that you've applied to car rental. You've talked about growth into different areas. Perhaps you could unpack that a bit further about how the technology would work in one or two of those different areas.
Yeah, sure. So if we just take it into the, let's say, the infrastructure asset management space, there's, you know, at the very heart of things, all asset owners want to understand the condition of their assets. So whether it's in the infrastructure asset management space where you've got, you know, chillers or boilers, or in the real estate market, or if we think about the broader sharing economy, whether it's boats, whether it's caravans, whether it's peer-to-peer cars, all of those will be able to be solved, and asset owners will understand the condition of their assets always, and they'll have an accurate view of the condition post a rental or a transfer in the ownership. So this is only the very beginning for ProofTech in terms of the car rental industry, and there's multiple applications for it.
Great. Thank you very much, ProofTech.
Thank you.
The next two entrepreneurs will have 30 seconds to pitch, and they are Exodus Space Systems and Virtual CSI.
"60 years of human spaceflight has created a lot of space junk. This threatens a $360 billion global space industry. Our invention is a street sweeper for space debris. This is more cost-effective, yes, but it also means that humanity's exodus to space will be truly sustainable. We asked to meet with corporate sponsors who have expertise in commercializing new technologies so that our mission to space can benefit everyone here on Earth. Thank you."
There are no perfect murders, only mistakes in criminal investigation. Training is key. Combining my experience as forensic scientist and Jeff's ability in educational technology, we put together a virtual reality crime scene simulator to help to have justice swifter. What we want is connection with educational technologies investors like Tori Patterson of All Ventures. Thank you.
Well, can you believe we've already listened to 27 pitches this afternoon, and we've got another 15 fabulous pitches to go. We're going to move on to our next category, which is media and education technology. And our first entrepreneur in this category is Digi, and they will have a 3-minute pitch.
Let's get real about the leading cause of global crisis in mental health: social media. Are you aware that 6 to 12-year-olds are suiciding in epidemic numbers? 6 to 12-year-olds. 1 in 4 12-year-olds is regularly watching pornography, this resulting in an unprecedented rate of child-on-child sex abuse. Why? It's no secret. Cyberbullying, trolling, grooming, not to mention uncontrolled, unregulated access to inappropriate information online. We educate our children about social skills, driving, drugs, alcohol, but fail to educate them when it comes to safe, moral behaviour in the dangerous online space. This is my son Tim, Digi's creative director. His typical Gen Zer rapid-fire round-the-clock online life gives him access to a no-access denied portal to the world, which terrifies me, and it should terrify you too.
Children have to engage with the digital world. We can't stop that, so we have to educate them. This is my mum Claire, Digi Social's founder, 26 years as a child therapist, Channel 9 and 6PR's resident parenting expert, and the co-author of 16 award-winning books. As you can see, my mum's a bit of an expert in all this. Can you imagine what it was like for me and my brothers trying to have an online social life? Tragic. So, Mum and I, with our joint skills, created Digi Social. Digi Social provides primary school children secure access to an educational social media platform. While children are chatting, we use the latest in artificial intelligence to identify unacceptable online behaviour or content and educate them through animated pop-up tutorials relevant to their actions. Teachers and principals can easily expand learning with a curriculum of challenges, covering everything from screen time and green time, right through to fake news, pornography and grooming. Parents also have access to a library of expert videos This is social media with training wheels.
Maggie Dent and Dr. Christy Goodwin are proud ambassadors, and we are humbled to have so many asks met already, including an introduction to the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, and Lynn Beasley. It's mind-blowing. Now we want to partner with Mark Zuckerberg to help us move social media forward for our next generation. We're overwhelmed by schools needing DigiSocial. We're self-funded, and to get to the beginning of 2020 ready to launch, we need $500,000 to finish our platform and get it into every one of those schools. We'd love a conversation with Rochelle Hume, Commissioner for Children and Young People, and an introduction through Jackie Butterworth to the lead at Chevron's Social Impact Foundation. And everyone here can help us too. Your business, Social Impact Foundation, or family fund could sponsor a school, a community, or even a region. And finally, we want your vote so we can pitch this at the Palace for our precious children. Thank you.
Thank you both, really important work. I suppose my question comes back to the education element and trying to get children to actually engage with things. So what is it that you've done in developing the product, and this is probably a question for you, Tim, to make sure that children will be engaged and actually use the platform?
Yeah, so there's actually a point system involved with the platform. So while kids are interacting with each other, they are moderated by artificial intelligence, as we said. But when they go without being moderated, they are rewarded for their good behaviour online. So they are provided with points, which buy them access to GIFs and banners and images that they can trade with friends and that kind of stuff. So it has a bit of a gamification kind of side of things to keep them engaged and keep them wanting to use the platform.
Great, thank you and well done.
Thank you.
We have another 3-minute pitch coming up for you now. Cognate.
Thank you for your time this afternoon. My name's Sam Hodge. I'm the Director of Cognate Software. I work in the media and entertainment space using artificial intelligence solutions to solve difficult problems. So when you think about visual effects, you may think, as I do, about polygons and pixels, but really what you should be thinking about is the emotional journey that will take you on with those things. Take, for instance, a spider dying, played by Julia Roberts, can bring you to tears. Or the release as Ryan Stone falls to earth in a parachute. These are both things that I've worked on. I've got 2 Oscars in the 16 years that I've been working in visual effects for Gravity and for Avatar. This is the positive side of the visual effects. One of the negative sides of visual effects is the amount of time that we get to do our work. It's becoming less and less. Budgets are coming tighter. The demands are ever higher. One of the things that we can do is we can use greater and greater software and computation to overcome this. One part of it we can't overcome is removing an actor from a background plate. So when I was working on a shot of Daniel Radcliffe over a transforming room where Professor Slughorn transforms out of a chair, we had to remove Daniel Radcliffe frame by frame at 24 frames a second in order to be able to put the computer-generated objects in the background. Take this over 24 frames a second, 200 frames on an average shot, 2,000 frames in a visual effects movie. This is an immovable cost, or is it? I looked to artificial intelligence technology and I found that you could isolate the pixels that belong to a category. I found that you could isolate the pixels that belong to a person, perhaps Daniel Radcliffe, and find out that you could remove him from the background without expending that effort. And so I put this towards a prototype and worked with people around the world and came up with a product which is in Cognate Store now, and has been taken up. If you looked at the top 8 visual effects companies, about 3 of them around the world are already using our product. So that's a success story. What I want to do is further that success and take it to the YouTubers and do what Canva's done for graphic design and bring that to visual effects. I've already had my ask answered by the Duke of York, and I've been introduced to Warner Media. Now what I ask is the courage to do this for myself. I've been doing this while working full time. I want somebody with skin in the game to work in sales and marketing and with finance to scale this company to the scale that it needs to be. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Sam. Being able to isolate and remove people sounds fabulous.
Yep.
Just saying. A question for you.
Sure.
Obviously, this is going to very much appeal to professional studios. Do you see any other markets beyond the professional studios for this?
I mean, obviously we could pivot and take it to another market, you know, like GDPR, where if you took a photo of yourself in front of Buckingham Palace, you'd actually have to get permission of all the people in those photos to be able to post it on social media. So you could use Rotobot to blur them out. Or you could make it as a visual effect in your YouTube video where you've got anything between 10 and 10,000 viewers following your feed.
Great, thanks, Sam.
Cheers.
So we're moving on to our next category, which is business and consumer products and services. The following entrepreneurs will get 30 seconds to pitch, and they will be Ayla, Dry Cielo, Hike, Juggler, and Marker Systems.
You Matterbotters. You Matterboxes are a 24-hour emergency food release service that will be operating by Ayla Inc.'s 150 volunteers. We are seeking an internship with the Royal Academy of Engineering to build your Matterboxes using sustainable components to pilot in Australia and in Africa. I didn't understand what generational poverty meant until I had to send my children to school hungry. This is a reality for 815 million people worldwide and 4 million people in Australia. No child should have to go to school hungry.
Drive Yellow makes it possible to buy a dress online and get it delivered in an hour. We help retailers create extraordinary experiences through the last mile delivery by providing a crowdsourced marketplace of couriers, tracking of deliveries for the consumer and the business, and AI technology to help allocate those orders. We currently conduct thousands of deliveries for a range of retailers in Australia, some of the largest, and we're looking to get introduction to Barry Davies and Tesco. Thank you very much.
Hike offers competitive advantage to retailers they never had before. By combining in-store, online, and marketplace sales in one platform, Hike simplifies sales process and saves 25% of retailers' time. We already have 2,000 customers in 40 countries, and as part of our growth strategy, we're looking for introduction to Reliance Industries of India. And of course, we need your word. Thank you.
"95% of primary parents are women, and there are not enough opportunities for them to nurture their careers during motherhood. An incredible amount of human capital is wasted every year. Juggler creates career meaningful, fully flexible jobs for women to progress their careers during motherhood. I want to have a better future for my daughters. You, if you have this one to heart, vote for Juggler today. Thank you."
One month ago, my daughter relocated to the Netherlands, and just this morning, a marker was placed in the town centre of Delft. With a phone, she can use this marker to navigate her new life. Marker places GPS-located interactive virtual signs around the globe that you can choose to read in any language of your choice. It's a bit like Pokemon Go, but it's really, really useful. We would like to be introduced to major sporting... Thank you.
Go on, tell us who it was.
We'd like to be introduced to major sporting and cultural events because we think that everyone should be able to find the toilet in their own language. Thank you.
Our next entrepreneur will get a 3-minute pitch, and it's Law on Earth.
How is it that in 2019, up to 70% of Australia and 80% of the world
still can't access basic legal help, either because of where they live, what they earn, or both. And it's not just the homeless. These are people that we live around every day. These are families, business owners, the youth. So Law on Earth is a platform that is a public self-service system. What this does essentially is that it provides a learning centre that gives geotagged information so that the public can actually self-service and learn what they need to about the problems they're having in legal. It then creates a document wizard that creates the documents by slotting in all of the correct clauses so that when people are answering simple questions, they end up with a document that's perfect for their needs. It then provides a human guide that explains every single clause and gives them next steps and timeframes. You can then book a 20-minute call with an advisor so that you can get advice, have your documents reviewed, and know that you're actually on the right track. Now, the benefits of this for the user is that they can save up to 90% cost in their legals. They're getting help 24/7, and they can watch the video again and again so that they have a recording of what they need to know. They can prove it later on for transparency if they didn't get the right advice. Now, the benefit for the lawyers is that they can save up to 60% of their time that they would be spending in a city firm giving this advice, and they also have the same transparency. They can work from wherever they want. And the next step that's also great for the lawyers is they can actually engage other lawyers so that they can get advice from other countries, other jurisdictions, and that's at a fraction of the cost that they're currently spending now. This creates incredible efficiencies. So over the past 6 months, we've had 3 innovation awards, and we're growing by about 300% month on month. We find that the system runs incredibly lean, and we do that so that we can provide really low-cost video sessions and documentation. The lawyers are actually the ones that generate the learning centre so that we can make sure the law is up to date, and they do this so that they get noticed to be asked to do video calls online. The greatest thing for us is awareness. So as you can imagine, we need to make sure that if we've got a system where people can get their lives in a better position in the future by making better decisions, that we have everyone know about it as soon as possible. So we're asking for awareness to come from the Attorney General's office, and the 2 people that we believe could connect us in that way is the Honourable Julie Bishop to please connect us to Christian Porter, and please also Mr Beasley, if you would connect us to the Attorney General for Western Australia. Thank you.
Well done, Katie. So a question for you. Who have you found to date has been your largest user group, and what elements of the law have they most wanted to get support in?
So far we're finding that it's actually family law and the small business and startup crowd, predominantly because you can actually, for less than $500, you can actually set up a company, plus the ASIC fee, so set up a company, do all your shareholders agreements, employment agreements, like 6 full suite of documents for less than $500, which is extraordinary. And we're getting a lot of people getting family law advice because it's 20-minute segments. So it's enough to find out whether you're going to mesh with that lawyer. The next thing we're putting in is actually parenting plans. So for less than $200, clients that are separating can actually put their parenting plans in place. And anytime they do get advice from their lawyers, they can watch again and again to say, look, why did we decide on this? And they go back and they take another look at it.
Great, well done. Law on Earth.
Thank you.
We have another 3-minute pitch coming up, and that is Modern Pods.
Hi, how are you doing? My name is John Christie. So a little bit about myself. I'm originally from the United States. Prior to moving here, I was a United States Navy search and rescue swimmer for 6 years, and I moved to Australia around 5 years ago. So whenever I got here, I noticed the affordable housing industry was in a little bit of a crisis. So the median house prices went from $422,000 all the way to $622,000, and if anyone's ever tried to do an addition on a home, you're looking at $100,000 minimum. So what I did was I developed Mod Pods. So we guarantee quality, delivery, and an affordable price. So if you look up right now, council approval, build, and install. So we actually take care of literally everything. So we do everything in-house. We also have, that's in Queensland alone. So in Queensland, we're a one-stop shop. Anything outside of that, we'll literally supply the units. Also, the most fantastic part is we just became a passive house with our passive house certifications. So that's a really hard certification to get. That means you have a very high insulation rate and the unit is airtight. So standard range. So if you look up to the top right now, these are all brand new designs and these are all prefabricated. All right, and the market of these are for great. So the market is pretty much any of the granny flat market and anything and a little bit of the Airbnb. So the top one is 3 by 3.4 meters. That's $29,000. The next one's 8 by 3.4 meters. That is $59,000. And the bottom one is 12 by 3.4 meters, and that's $99,000. So everything is underneath $100,000. So it's an absolutely fantastic deal. Now, meet the Chandlers, so that's our target market. So you're pretty much looking at a 40 to 50-year-old couple. They've got, they're looking for a semi-detached home or granny flat, and they've got a kid they kind of want out of the house. So that's what we're targeting right now, or even a parent, so that's possible. So how it works, so this is the demand we have right now. So our Facebook advertising, let's say, make it real simple, we're doing $100 a week. We get 30 to 35 leads off of that alone, and that's $3.09. So when they come to us, we can now complete the units in 8 weeks. That's full build, install, and council approvals. Within 6 months, we're going to drop that down to hopefully 5 or 6 weeks. So I want to keep it pretty honest. The future Mod Pods, this is the best part. So right now, we've sold 30 units. With the demand right now, we've already taken pre-orders. We're looking at 20 per month. And then the more we can scale above that, and we have factories overseas as well, but we are building everything in Australia right now, which is fantastic. But what we want to get into is the tourism industry. We want to start doing multi-unit developments because affordable housing is a massive issue right now. It really is, and we want to do something about it. On a social aspect, look, we doing this right now. We give a lot of our profits. We give a lot of our profits back to pretty much homes and schools in third world countries. So we have a select list of them. We've been doing that for quite a while now, and we feel like giving back. Oh, no. Sorry about that.
Thanks, John. So you said that obviously affordable housing is an issue, and so it has been a growing industry. So what is it about Modern Pods that sets you apart? What is the difference with Modern Pods?
I think the difference, what we did was we actually covered all the bases. So all of our units, like what I said, passive house certification, that's actually a really big deal. So we actually want to roll out to the UK next. Not just Australia, we do want to roll out to the UK, which is fantastic, but that's pretty much mandated over there. So also our scalability, we do have the capabilities right now in Australia to build, we can go up to around 80, and then we do have factories overseas that we can do pretty much 120 in each factory, and we have been working there. I've been personally working there for over 5 years. So, and we maintain quality, delivery, and a really good affordable price, and we are literally going to stick to that.
Great, well done. Thank you, Modern Pods.
Thank you so much.
The next set of entrepreneurs will have 30-second pitches, and they are Monarch Global, Mortgage Matters, Tendril Care, The Nice Coffee Co, and The Vault.
Monarch Global is a global distribution system for private aircraft charter. We provide technology to the aircraft operators, which allows them to produce their aircraft with live availability and pricing, and we syndicate all of those operators into one system, which can API integrate with current MediSearch sites such as Webjet and Expedia, providing charter aircraft to everyone. Now, I may look exactly like Chris Hemsworth, but I definitely don't make his kind of money, and I fly private, so can you. Thank you.
Over 6 million young people, seniors, NDIS recipients and others are currently priced out of traditional home ownership. Mortgage Mates is their solution. The Tinder of home ownership, Mortgage Mates matches 2 or more individuals to co-own a home together. Co-ownership is cheaper, safer, quicker and increases social connection in housing. Our ask is for a link into the Real Estate Institute of Australia. Everyone knows someone that can't afford to own their own home. We're the solution, and by sharing our vision, you can be the solution too.
Have you been following the aged care industry news lately? We are the holistic, innovative solution that the aged care industry needs. We empower our seniors to live independently at home. We connect seniors, their families, and carers. Tendril app, with its mobile apps, voice command system, and IoT devices, is easy to use, real-time, and transparent. It gives full transparency and control to family members. Our ask today is an introduction to an aged care service provider, such as Bupa, Ality, or Regis Aged Care, and of course, government as well. Thanks.
We're in the coffee game for social good, because when my family moved to Africa, I realized the conditions of some schools make learning impossible. We source beans from Kenya, provide machines for any organization, and use our profits to make learning possible. We want nice coffee on the shelves of Officeworks and are seeking a connection into Wesfarmers. We also want David Pocock on as a brand ambassador. So please connect and help us brew the nicest coffee the world has ever seen.
I'm Dr. Genevieve Honan from The Vault, a company transforming your environmental fashion footprint. We're a designer fashion rental marketplace, allowing users to lend out clothes they already own and borrow to always be best dressed. But it's not about looking good. Our country and world is literally drowning in fast fashion. So remember, rent, don't buy. Our planet, image, and your budget will thank you for it. We're looking for an intro to Ian Moore and Solomon Lew. Thank you.
Of the afternoon. It will be a 3-minute pitch, and we're about to hear from GoNap.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please raise your hand if you've had a baby, raised a baby, or ever just been around a baby. Great. So you know that babies come with their very own must-have accessories like nappies and wipes. I'm at Australia Zoo. I smell a smell. I suddenly realise the husband has left the baby bag at home. Talk to him, I left the baby bag at home. But regardless, we are at Australia Zoo, it's turned to Australia Poo, and we're in a really crappy situation. Hi, I'm Christy Ahrens, founder of GoNap, the world's first and only all-in-one eco-nappy change pack. In this little pack of sanity, you have everything you need for an on-the-go nappy change. A 61% biodegradable bamboo nappy, which, being bamboo, is naturally hypoallergenic, super soft and absorbent, plus the wood pulp within the nappy is sourced from sustainably managed forests. You have a pack of 5 100% biodegradable wet wipes, which are alcohol-free and fragrance-free, made of all natural products, contain all natural fibres, and are vegan-friendly. And a biodegradable change mat, which doubles as the disposal bag, is made of cornstarch and can break down in under 3 months in a hot compost environment. Pop it in your back pocket, quick dash to the shops, man bag, handbag, glove box. Really, you don't need to be ball and chain to that back-breaking baby bag anymore. Did you know 3.75 million disposable nappies are used across Australia and New Zealand each day? Now, GoNap isn't your all-day, everyday nappy solution, but what we did want to create was a nappy that, because it was convenient, it needed to be as eco-conscious as possible, and that's been at the forefront of everything that we've done, from product to packaging. GoNap comes in 3 sizes, infant, crawler and walker. We also have a swim version, very creatively named GoNap Swim. What I've learned over the last 11 months is I can't sell a secret. GoNap is a new brand as well as a new concept. So what I'm seeking for is connections. I need connections. I need connections to take this globally relevant product to the world. I need high-profile mums and dads to help raise the awareness of GoNap. I need contacts, key decision makers at airlines, hotels, really anyone you think might be interested in GoNap. And because I'm a mum of 3 under 6, everything in my house is a song. Here's a little jingle about getting out of the house in under 1 minute with a baby, thanks to GoNap. Phone, keys, GoNap baby, let's all clap hands for GoNap. Thank you.
Well done. So I think all of us who are parents have been in that position, you know, where, oh no, where's the nappy? What's your distribution plan to get GoNap in those places where, you know, parents have that panic moment and really need it?
Yeah, we're looking at some sales teams at the moment, and also just any connections that we can get out of pitchatpalace to help raise the awareness. And the key with the GoNap is the availability as well. So really looking forward to exploring those channels.
Great, well done.
Thank you.
Well, what a fabulous afternoon. I think you'll all agree we've heard 42 absolutely amazing pitches. So can we put our hands together one more time to congratulate all the entrepreneurs? But now it's time to put you to work. We need you to vote. You will get 3 minutes, and when the 3 minutes is up, P.O. Barrett will let you know in his inevitable style. Again, if you do have any problems during the 3 minutes with voting, make sure you raise your hand, and happy voting. The 3 minutes start now. You've had a minute, 2 minutes remaining. Remember, any problems, hand up high so we can help you out. Every vote counts. We have a minute remaining. I know it's a tough. Trying to choose just 3 is very hard, but try and get your votes in this remaining minute. "30 seconds, make it count." There's still furious tapping going on those apps. 10 seconds to go, everybody. Make sure you press the tick at the top corner. That's the way to make it count. And many thanks to our members from the Royal Australian Naval Band. I think they've done a wonderful job for us this afternoon. Thank you very much. So, the time is here. May I thank you all for coming this afternoon and supporting these dedicated entrepreneurs. Also, obviously, to our partners and supporters. Without you, we can't have the success of pitchatpalace, and I think it has been an astounding success. So now it's my great pleasure, and I hope the scores are all in, to invite the Duke of York to the stage to announce the results.
Alex is not going to like me. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, could I just add my sincere thanks to the entrepreneurs for what they've done this afternoon. They've been at it now for quite a long time. As you saw in the video, they've been going through the process. Can I just say that the difference between Wednesday and today is just amazing. I really think you've done the most fantastic job. Thank you very, very much indeed. Before I announce the winners, I would just like to say thank you to the people, not just the team that have put this together, as I was talking about earlier on, because this couldn't be done without the huge effort of people, but I just want to talk a little bit about our university partners who have also really made a difference, and they're Bond University in the Gold Coast, RMIT in Melbourne, and Wollongong just south of Sydney. The ability to be able to work with universities, and particularly their innovation centres, makes a huge difference, because we can then really add even more value to the starting and scaling businesses. I would also like to say a huge thank you to our corporate partners, and I know one of the corporate partners has actually been nobbled this afternoon directly, and I will just say that Accor are one of them, so that was good briefing to the entrepreneurs. Halkin Ventures, IMB Bank and Woodside. I mean, it's a tremendous support that you give us, and if anybody else is out there who wants to help and they've seen what we do, then Pitch Australia and the team would love to hear from you. But thank you to all our supporters, because it makes a huge difference to us to be able to deliver this in the way that we can. Thank you, audience, for you, because I'm sure that you've all made notes, and there are people that you can make connections for these businesses. The reason I said that Alex is not going to like me is that there are 3 businesses that you're going to have to deal with. Yes, not just 2, 3. And the reason is that we have a tie in the voting, and I think it's unfair to split, just take the 2 equal, because they were second. And I think we're going to have to go with 3. Thank you, Alex. So, now that I got that out of the way, I would just like, first of all, to say that the People's Choice, which is a choice that is made by people online, and the winner of that is Hike. So congratulations to Hike. And I am not going to tell you who was tied with who. I'm just going to give you the 3 businesses that you selected this afternoon. Exceptional. Orthocell. Quiet. And Soldierly. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pitchatpalace Australia 3.0. I think you will all agree with me that you have yet again proven that there is some seriously great innovation and ideas coming out of Australia. We can help every single one of you And as you've already heard, we've introduced a couple of you to people that you've already asked for on Wednesday. We will continue to work with you in order to help build your businesses, because what we are about is growing businesses. Have a great afternoon networking now, because that is the really important part of the exercise. Thank you all very much indeed.
Well, that does bring us to the end of this afternoon. As you know, there are 3 people who will go on to the global event. However, there are 42 winning teams already in this room, so congratulations to everybody. I'd like to thank you all for taking part. As we said, there are canapes and drinks in the foyer. For the audience, your work starts now. Please have those conversations, make that network. Apologies, canapes and drinks are downstairs, but please have those conversations. On behalf of Murdoch University, thank you all.
Thank you.